You ever heard the expression, confidence is that feeling you have before you fully understand the situation? I think I know that. Well, I think this represents the end of my credit card limit. Got some Vision, I think these are 998s, 17 by 9.5 wide. I've run a couple other sets of these, and what I like about them is they give you 2 sets of drilled holes. So if you strip one out over the course of its life, you can rotate the ring around and grab another set. So you get one freebie. The other thing is they got these machine grooves on both sides that pinch the wheel. I have not had to add air to any of these Vision wheels. And they're one of the cheaper wheels out there. I haven't broke one yet. I wheel them. So, I mean, I'd love Raceline stuff, but it's like twice as much money. So I dig these. I dig the look. And I don't see a lot of them out there, surprisingly. So I am taking the wire wheel and roughing these up. I'll prime them with an etching primer, and I think I'm going to paint the inside black, and I'll do the beadlock rim and, I don't know, beige or something that matches. You gotta love these wheels, man. It's like, especially wearing shorts, certain areas of the body you gotta protect. At the end of the day, I usually find a few of these things embedded in my skin. Jeez, what we do for fun. What do you do for fun? You just wag your tail. You're always having fun. Right? Stretch it out. Maybe we'll go on a walk later, because I know I owe you another walk. Ow! God, that hurts. So here I am priming the wheels, and for the longest time, I didn't know that you need to use an etching primer with aluminum. So just take note, if you're doing any kind of aluminum work, you really need to use a self-etching primer. Just trying to get a couple things done each evening. So I got the rims painted up and throwing them together here. So the process of putting in, I think it's like 27 bolts and then evenly torquing it takes a while. But I got one down and just try and get a couple done a day here, and then a couple more done. I got a vise I'm going to throw on a receiver, 2-inch receiver stick, and I could slide that thing in and out. I'll show you how that works later. And I'm just trying to whittle through parts in these boxes, get something done every day. But yeah, I'll talk about that later. Oh, these tires. I found these on Craigslist or Marketplace, I don't remember. But they were only like a year old when I bought them. They were used in a race, so they're competition Toyo soft. I don't even know what they are. What are they? It basically says for racing. So they're the soft compound, not for highway use. Anyway, got 6 of them for $600, and they're pretty tore up, but out of the 6, there's 4 decent runners. So it's not a bad deal for some 40-inch tires. And like I said, they're 2021 date code. They've been sitting in storage for a couple years already. But yeah. You're weird. Got home from work last night and started looking at emails on my personal account, which I don't track too often, and I saw this name I didn't recognize, and I normally just spam junk mail. And I read it, and I saw something about Matt's Off-Road, and I was actually looking at it when I was driving, which I shouldn't have been doing, but so I didn't read it all. And I got home and I started looking, and I'm like, they got me on a distribution list by accident. And so I emailed the dude, responded, and I was like, hey, I think you got me on the wrong list, but I'd love to help out or participate in the off-road games. And then I was like, wait a second. I look a few days back, and they had actually invited me to participate in a Zoom call, and I never saw the email. And so I pinged them back last night, haven't heard back, but pretty exciting. I think I emailed Matt's Off-Road, I think the first time I started thinking about this project. Yeah, it was a couple months back, maybe 3 months, I don't know. And I never heard anything, so I figured, just not what they're looking for. Anyway, they asked to do a little video clip, so I thought before I get any farther on the work this weekend, I ought to do the little video clip they're asking for, just in case this does come together. And this stupid pig over here, I've had fuel issues. It's got a crappy fuel pump. It was sucking air, so it's got hard starts. And the first thing I need to do is get this thing out of the way. So I spent the last hour putting an electric fuel pump in it. Pain in the ass. So the mechanical pump, like a lot of GMs and a lot of vehicles, just a cam-driven mechanical pump, and they go bad pretty often. So I basically I did this in haste, but picked up a 24-volt electric fuel pump, just grabbing the suction line off the mechanical pump, running it in, and I'm just running a 3/8 line up to the fuel filter, which I'll replace it or plumb into the hard line. Like I said, I need to get this thing rigged together just to move it right now. So just ran 3/8 right into the inlet of the fuel filter. And on these Humvees down here in your wiring, you'll see a little blue wire. That's 24 volt ignition power. So I just tapped into that blue wire, threw a fuse on there. Again, just kind of ramrodding this together. So when I go ignition on, probably can't hear it, but it's got one of those little thumper pumps. All right, Friday afternoon, I had the day off, regular day off. So update, my air hose came in today, but I don't have the bushing. They didn't give me the bushing for it, so I can't put that on. Got all the tires mounted up, so I'm kind of going through rotating tires around. I don't know, that's my little exhaust dingling. Got the hydraulic pump mounted to the body. Voltage gauge wasn't working. I got that figured out. I had a leaky oil cooler, so I just rather than pull the oil cooler, it's like an oil cooler, transmission cooler, power steering cooler unit, and rather than pull that out, I just didn't have time. I just bypassed it, put a little oil cooler in. Probably won't need to have oil cooler in this climate, but I'll eventually get that fixed. It's just kind of temporary. So first tires on there, everything's looking good. I'm going through the portals as I'm changing the tires out, just making sure that I think I already checked them once before, but I'm double checking them. Hydraulics, I am waiting on 2 fittings down here. Those won't be in until Monday, so I think I'm just going to get everything mounted up and I'll have everything wired in. Electrical's kind of my next step. I'm going to put some disconnects in back down here, so I'll have a disconnect for the truck that's keyed, and then another disconnect that'll be for the winch, and the hydraulics will be on a little switch. You know how that goes. Let's see, I got some, tomorrow I'll make the rocker panels with this stuff. I got my DOM for my rod ends, and I got this vise that's going to go back. It's a piece of 2-inch box, and I got a piece of 2-inch ID box. It's going to get welded on the side of the boom, so you can slide your vise out and be able to work back here, changing U-joints, whatever you need to do. Got a toolbox that's going to go here, mocking up where the air compressor and tank go. That gets mounted. So I got a full day of electrical, another full day of mounting things. I got the lights up on the roof, air horn. Got a bunch of stuff. This is kind of my accessories box. I got a light switch and all sorts of toys in here. Non-essential, but stuff that'll make it cool. Oh, I gotta show you my speaker box. So I got an amp, and I'm like, shoot, I may as well get a bass speaker. I've never had a bass speaker since I was in high school. And I had a little MDF laying around, so I'm making a speaker box. So I just got to reinforce this and bolt it down, and I'll prime it and paint it and make it look cool. Making progress. Yeah, got my water jug, my fuel jug. I got a bunch of 1-inch rope. What do you call those things? Rope, energy rope. I don't know. Stuff that's elastic, stuff you can jerk people with. Oh, I don't know if I've showed this yet. So my buddy came up with this, and I just had to go for it. I think it's funny. Don't be offended. It's not inappropriate. So I don't even know why I filmed this, but I wanted to show that I have the ability to film and grind at the same time. So there you go. That's my mad skills right there. All right, it's Saturday, T-minus 1 day before I'm hoping to be mostly wrapped up with this. So working on the rock sliders right now. So I just got some 3-inch 3/16, and the Humvees have a little break in the back. Let's see if I can pull this down and show you. So I got it contoured to fit the brake in the back, and then I'll just use the existing holes where the armor bolted up, and pretty simple. Just a few cuts and then some drilling, and they work exceptionally well. I made a pair for my other rig when I took it on Fordyce. If I didn't have these rock sliders, that rig would be junk, because these rigs are long wheelbase and really low body clearance. So you are living and dying by rock sliders. And I got a skid plate over here. I gotta put that on once I go through all the fluids, oil change later today. I got some hydraulic parts in. So all I'm missing right now, I think, are 2 fittings that are coming Monday, and I got oil, dump it in. I'll do the wiring tomorrow, and we'll fire up the hydraulics. Hope to have the lights and the BS on there. I'll throw the doors, roof panel on. So still lots of little things, ancillary tool chest and whatnot, which I can get done during the week. But the meat and potatoes, I'm hoping, should be done today. Well, tomorrow. Today and tomorrow. Yeah, still gotta put the wheels and tires on. Oh, got my air hose. This is cool. I just love having some air hose. Oh, I got one of these things. Suicide knob. I'm not accustomed to driving with a suicide knob, but if you're going to be operating that thing and this thing, it'd be easier to have that thing. I don't know. You tell me, or I'll tell you later. I don't be knowing, but I will. Kona, are you pooping over there? Dang dog keeps pooping in the neighbor's yard, then he steps in it. He's not happy with me. You are a poop machine. All right, had a busy couple days this weekend, got a lot of stuff done, and unfortunately I just didn't take a lot of breaks to video. But got the rear roof panels on, I got the tires and wheels on, did a full service on the rig, so oil change and lubed her up, and she's happy. I'm still waiting on a couple hydraulic fittings, but pretty much everything's bolted in. I got a little more welding to do on the boom. I put this little vise in on a slider so it slides in and out. Toolbox. Got my, I got to find a place for this. It's my 120 inverter. I got a air compressor and tank. That's probably all going to stay in there. 100 foot of 3/8 air hose. And my favorite part, this air horn. I dug this out of a dumpster 20 years ago, and I've been dying to put it on something. So I can't wait to get the air horn going. And it's got the old school manual valve with the chain. Just pull that thing and got my winch tucked away in there. Can hide my obnoxious red anodized Fairlead. All right, so it's a week of work. Well, real work that pays. I got to work this week and then tinker in the week. Hopefully this fittings come in tomorrow. I can get the hydraulics up and running. And I got next weekend to finish up whatever I got left, which is, I got a little electrical here and there, but come out to Hammers. We're gonna go beat the shit out of this thing and see what it does. Hopefully find some guys that are wrecked up. Well, not hopefully, but hopefully help people out. How about that? All right. What do you say, Kona? have a good day. Have a good week. And may you chase many squirrels